All right. Hi, my name is Kyle Wiggins, and I'm the co-founder and CEO of Keteka. So at Keteka, we're a global booking engine that enables travelers to find, plan, and book the most authentic tours and activities in frontier markets with validated local guides, creating travel experiences that empower all stakeholders to do what they love. Now, we're all familiar with the traditional problem in tours and activities. On one side, you have a traveler who's looking for a safe, reliable local experience that he can book instantly online. And on the other side, you have a guide. In this case, our guide's name is Chasky. Chasky has a highly rated, excellent tour in rural Peru. That's exactly what Nick is looking for. However, Nick can't find Chasky, and typically you have to go through a whole host of middlemen to find him, creating miscommunication and misalignment of incentives. Right? So this creates a bad travel experience for Nick, and it gets a bad review for Chasky. Now, there are two types of companies over the last 2 decades that have emerged to try to solve this problem: big OTAs and booking software companies. And while both of these companies have done a great job of solving this problem in developed markets like New York and Paris, they haven't done a great job of doing this in frontier markets, rural Peru, Latin America, like the ones that Chasky lives in. So for the big OTAs, while they can provide a lot of exposure on the internet, for guides like Chasky, it's very cumbersome to work with them because his inventory is not live. There's no direct communication with the traveler, and his payments are typically delayed. Right? So then you would think that the booking software companies would be able to solve this problem of live inventory. However, the software that they've developed is also not designed for guides like Chasky. Right? They're typically high maintenance, high tech solutions, and Chasky is a guy that still does everything with pen and paper. So it's low tech, low maintenance methods of running his business. Now, when we surveyed the over 500 plus local guides that we currently work with throughout Latin America, 90% responded that they don't use a booking software at all. So what this tells us is that technology, while is very important to this solution, it's not the only thing that's important to this solution. So at Keteka, what we're doing is we're building a global booking engine, a marketplace plus booking software that enables frontier travelers and guides to actually be able to do what they need to. So through our marketplace and booking engine, travelers like Nick are able to access thousands of local experiences and connect, communicate, and pay guides like Chasky directly. And guides like Chasky are able to leverage a single platform in order to manage, sell, market their businesses, and grow them online. So essentially, we're creating a travel platform that empowers all of the stakeholders in our value chain to benefit and prosper at scale. Now, the global market for tours and activities is estimated at hundreds of billions of dollars and growing at 9% annually. We've decided to focus on Latin America and become the #1 player there. And we're doing this in 3 phases. Phase 1 was to create a marketplace with low barriers to entry for all of our guides and operators, and to validate that there's demand for these types of experiences. And we've done that. Over the last 3 years, we've been able to onboard 500 plus local guides. We have over 2,500 unique experiences throughout 17 countries in Latin America. And we've done over $1 million in organic sales just through the marketplace. We've also received recognition, support, and grants from industry-leading experts like Booking.com, and we're selected to the Booking.com Booster Program. Now, phase 2 is to drive software adoption throughout the region with the local guides that we currently work with. And so, over the last 3 years, we've developed processes and software specifically designed for these types of local guides. And we believe that by the end of 2020, we'll have 80% adoption of our technology and 100% adoption shortly thereafter. Now, our team is uniquely built to solve this type of problem, and with an excellent development and management team, we have no doubt that we'll be able to get this done. Jack and I both spent 2 years in the Peace Corps, working with local communities and local guides just like Chasky, which has afforded us a unique relationship with Peace Corps. We've been able to access thousands of validated local experiences and have great credibility and trust throughout the region. So we're raising $1.5 million in order to generate over $10 million in revenue over the next 18 months, bring over 1,000 local guides online, and increase our inventory to over 5,000 experiences. Now, when Jack and I were working with indigenous communities in Panama, we saw firsthand the ability of sustainable tourism to positively impact those communities and the travelers that visit them. Now, Keteka is an indigenous Panamanian word that means to get close to. And that's what we do. We bring travelers in the developing world closer to one another. We've already helped thousands of travelers get closer to their destination. Help us enable this for millions more. Thank you.
Thank you. Dragons, what do you think of Keteka?
Yes, I'll jump off first. So, I mean, I love the concept, great pitch. You stated your problem though around, what was his name, Chesky? Chesky.
Yeah.
Doesn't have technology, doesn't use technology, so how on earth are you going to get him to start to use this new booking tool that you think is going to revolutionize this tremendously fragmented industry? Very tough.
Yeah, that's a really good question. So it's not that he doesn't have any technology, right? It's just that the tools that have been created are not utilizing the technology that he does use. So for example, WhatsApp is widely used throughout Latin America and throughout developing regions, but none of these software tools appropriately work with WhatsApp in order to give him the bookings and the management tools that he needs. So a lot of the tools that we've designed have been designed around WhatsApp and SMS. Essentially, we're combining the things that they already use with tools that we have found that we know we can make them work together, and we feel like we can gradually bring them more and more online to the point where then they can work with all of these bigger companies as well.
So I'm just going to jump off that. If you're creating that connection just through an existing product that they're using, what kind of defensibility are you creating between you and the other booking engines that they already could be on?
Could be on, right. Yeah, that's a really good question too. So for us, we see ourselves as, call it the Keteka universe, essentially. So we're going to be a portal or a bridge through which they are connected to all other distribution networks. So we talked about those ones we listed: Get Your Guide, Viator, TripAdvisor. Right? Essentially, through us, we can work as a channel manager essentially for them. And so that is where we feel like the defensibility really comes in the fact that we're uniquely positioned to be able to work in these markets, right? There's a lot of reasons that we could discuss later of why Peak and why Fair Harbor, why Booking.com, why Get Your Guide, why they are not focused in these markets, right? Essentially, it's just prohibitively expensive for them to be there when they can gain a lot more money poaching developed tour operators from each other's companies. And so while we're focused on this, they're going to acquire their way into that space. We're going to do the work to actually make sure that it happens.
So as a user, am I sorting through 100 Cheskys?
No, that's actually a really, really great question. So one thing we always like to say is if you're looking for 115 identical tours of the Eiffel Tower, the Statue of Liberty, go to Get Your Guide. That's a great option. If you're looking for something that's off the beaten path, unique, that's been curated and validated, those aren't great options. Keteka is an excellent option.
Can you talk a little bit more about how you're going to aggregate demand and kind of find the customer profiles that directly map to these kind of off the beaten track?
Yeah. That's also a really good question. So we have basically like 6 customer profiles of people that book with us and that like booking with us. But essentially, they're mostly between 25 and 55 affluent travelers. Essentially, all travelers who are looking to do something that's different during their vacation. So sometimes they're staying at the Ritz, sometimes they're staying in hostels, but they're all willing to spend $150 to $350 on a really unique experience that they can go home and talk about.
Thank you very much, Kyle. Well done.